Morning Edition, we'll tell you how residents in the over-the-hill community are benefiting from the tax exemptions.
You can buy cars for your businesses duty-free.
Also, the role of the religious community in stemming the rise in COVID cases.
So we have to stop blaming the government and government agencies and the private sector and everybody else.
And meeting the desperate need of cancer patients. All ahead when the Morning Edition returns after the break.
First, it's more than just our name, more than just our achievements. It's our nature, and it's where we put our customers. At Bahamas First, we've refreshed our look, but our nature remains the same. We design insurance solutions that protect our customers from life's uncertainties, whatever they may be. We equip you for the future so that you can recover stronger. Bahamas First, what's first for you comes first for us.
We're here to help you. We're here to hold your hand. We're here to support you.
I think it's everyone who sacrifices their life to serve the needs of others are all heroes.
So we all just kind of get together and do what's right for our patients.
The human connection is what bonds all of us. I'm truly proud to be part of the Pineapple family.
What matters most is your health. Be proactive about it.
Desmond Saunders, a cold front near South Florida could influence weather conditions. The front will enter the northwest Bahamas later today with a robust high-pressure system building in its wake that will support very windy conditions across the Bahamas. Expect breezy, cloudy, but warm weather today. A few scattered showers are likely, turning very windy and chilly with stray showers tonight. Well, let's move out the streets of the capital today. Our Lloyd Allen is monitoring the daily commute. Lloyd Allen and team, good morning.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Here's a great start to your Tuesday morning. Good morning, Desmond. Good morning, Bahamas. It's a great start, and of course, this morning, we are giving you your first look at traffic. Now, this morning, we are in the area of Shirley Street and Elizabeth Avenue. If you are familiar with this area, you know that significant traffic comes out of the east heading into the downtown area, and many of those persons also heading into the west. Of course, if you need to utilize this area, you can do so. There are no interruptions. Apart from this, around town, in the areas of Foxhill Road North, rather south, and Faith Avenue South, roadworks continue. And so, of course, many residents in those areas are looking forward to the repaving of those roads, which have been undergoing for some time now. This morning, I'm also joined by Corporal Patrick Camp from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division. He's obviously not questioned here. But give us a look at overnight traffic.
Good morning, Mr. Lloyd, and good morning, Bahamas. The last 24 hours, we've had over 6 accidents. 6 accidents, minor accidents. And again, I'm going to encourage persons to continually drive with due care and attention. Also, Mr. Lloyd, you would find that throughout the island, we are doing a number of road operations where we are looking for a lot of infractions. And we're dealing with persons who are committing various offenses. So we're going to ask that persons, while you're on the streets, while you're going where you have to go, make sure your vehicle is properly taken care of. Make sure those signals are working. Make sure you get those side mirrors intact, the rear mirror. And most importantly, your brakes light. I see a lot of persons are driving their vehicles now with no brakes light at all. And persons who are behind people, be a brother's keeper. There's nothing wrong with riding up alongside them and making them aware. Sometimes they could have a blown fuse and not be aware of it. And make them aware of it. Persons, if you're aware of it, that's something you need to deal with. That's very important while you're traveling through the streets.
Now, Officer Camp, another point that you wanted to make mention of this morning are those persons who approach intersections or traffic lights and don't use proper signals.
Mr. Lloyd, I'm going to say and I'm going to say again, repeatedly, drive with due care and attention. You know, it's been over a year now since the law has been amended for persons to be allowed to make those left turns on the red signal. But we have persons who are still making these turns recklessly. They're not concerned with their own well-being, safety, and the safety of others, apparently. And I don't just want to say it. If it's okay, I just want to read it. It's real short. It does say in the Road Traffic Amended Regulations for 2019, okay, and that'd be 28, it just says a driver facing a red signal after coming to a full stop, they must give way to persons who are the pedestrians on or at the pedestrians. Persons who are traveling towards the traffic intersection on their green light, persons entering or leaving. We still have persons who are merging on the red light into oncoming traffic. That is a no-no. That is dangerous and it's an offense. We still have persons who are not giving way to pedestrians on these red lights. That is a no-no. I mean, persons they're not coming to a stop. The law clearly states you must come to a full stop. Me and my officers, we pay attention to this. We deal with these offenders. And I don't want persons to say, hey, officer, you know, the law's already passed for us to turn on the light. If you're in breach of the law, you will find yourself before the courts.
And before we wrap up, Officer Camp, what is the possible fine?
Well, I tell you one thing. It's a $250 fine for failing to stop in obedience to the traffic light. But it goes beyond being ticketed. Your life, other person's life. You know, you risk serious injuries to yourself or other persons. You have to adhere to the guidelines and obey the law. It is disturbing, and I'm sure you probably see it yourself, Mr. Allen, and other persons out there, that persons who are merging into these traffic lights, it's like they have the right of way. You don't have the right of way on your red light. You must give way, all right? And there's no excuse for ignorance. You'll want to know, because when it concerns your safety and your life, you want to know. So find out.
Well, a very important point stressed this morning by Officer Camp. Again, when we drive by the rules of the books, they not only protect our lives, but also those persons, pedestrians and other drivers. And so, of course, take heed as best as you can to drive with safety and with caution as you make your rounds around town. That's been your look at your morning traffic on this Tuesday. For the morning edition, Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Turning now to our top story, a number of persons in the Bain and Grangetown community said to be taking advantage of and benefiting from the tax-free zone in that inner city community. Many of them have launched their own businesses. The tax-free zone initiative is part of the efforts by the government to improve the quality of life of residents in over-the-hill communities by expanding access to opportunities while promoting entrepreneurship. Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, indicated Monday that the initiative is reaping dividends.
At least 50 individuals have taken advantage of that, meaning that there's no duty to build, there's no taxes. You can buy cars for your businesses duty-free. There's no duty for that. You can buy all the materials and supplies, equipment for your businesses, for your residents, and pay no taxes.
The Prime Minister's comments came on the sidelines of the official reopening of the Southern Recreation Grounds. He said training is also provided for entrepreneurs.
They've taken advantage of retraining and starting their own businesses to the tune of about $130,000, and that was just given to individuals from over the hill to start their own business. Still available, that was left there by the private sector for us, is an additional $250,000 that we want to give to you. You don't give it to us back. We want to give to you to start your own business. So we welcome individuals from over the hill to take advantage of that.
Switching now to a growing concern in our midst as the country battles a COVID-19 pandemic. Bahamians are once again being cautioned about travels to hotspots like the United States, which has recorded over 11 million cases. The Prime Minister's urging citizens and residents to do their part to curb the highly contagious virus.
Opened up our borders. When we look at what happened the last time, the infections were not related to the guests coming in. The infections were related to us going out. And therefore I would advise Bahamians, if not to travel unless absolutely necessary. And one of the reports we're getting back, a lot of Bahamians are visiting the neighbors to the north, and they're visiting flea markets and other stores, and they're not wearing any mask because that is not a requirement there. But they should wear masks and still practice social distancing, etc.
As Anglicans meet in Synod this week, head of the diocese, the Right Reverend Leish Boyd, reiterating the call for strong protocols during this pandemic and the role of the society in helping to turn the situation around.
We are the front line in the fight. So we have to stop blaming the government and government agencies and the private sector and everybody else. And each of us do our own part. Wear a mask, social distance, wash and sanitize our hands regularly, refrain from large gatherings, stay in if you do not have to go out, stay in if you have cold and flu symptoms, seek to build your own immune system, encourage everyone you meet to observe these protocols.
Meantime, health officials are keeping a close eye on COVID cases in the Family Islands. A team remains on the ground at Exuma today, wrapping up their assessment there. They have met with key stakeholders on the island and residents seeking to turn the situation around. Also, a team of COVID workers has been approved for Bimini after that island has seen a recent spike in cases. Well, coming up in the morning edition, how aviation officials are addressing the concern of some airport workers. And the morning edition comes back.
During this pandemic, it is our duty to ensure that all citizens, residents, and visitors are adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocols. Every business establishment must have distance markers 6 feet apart, indicating where each customer must stand at check-in points. Have a hand sanitizing station visible at the entrance of the store for all customers to sanitize their hands before entering the store. I am Ambassador Latario Farrington of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit. Save a life that may be yours.
This message brought to you by the Ministry of National Security in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
During this pandemic, it is our duty to ensure that all citizens, residents, and visitors are adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocols. Not wearing a face mask is an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of $200 or a term of 1 month imprisonment or both fine and imprisonment. I am Ambassador Jasmine Scott of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit. Save a life that may be your own.
This message brought to you by the Ministry of National Security in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ferguson. During this global pandemic, we ask for you to be responsible. As we fight this COVID-19 virus together, we would like to encourage you to do the following. Wash your hands. Cover your mouth and nose with a flexed elbow or tissue when coughing and sneezing. Please practice social distancing by staying 6 feet apart. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. If you must go out, wear a mask. We stay here for you. Please stay home for us. To those who are on the front line, we salute you as we continue this fight together.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with GD Media Solutions and this television station.
Welcome back. Well, since its launch 2 years ago, officials of the Neighborhood Crime Watch Council have fulfilled their goals of strengthening the approach to crime prevention through crime watch groups into one entity. They have also created new Neighborhood Watch programs nationwide and engaged council members who provide crime prevention support and guidance. Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, thanked the We Are One campaign coordinators and their teams for their dedication and hard work in fostering hope and the spirit of we.
I encourage our young people and all Bahamians not to be caught up in spirit of negativity, but instead to become a part of a community of hope. In this spirit, I want to encourage as many people as possible to become involved in these wonderful community building and inspiring events over the next few weeks. Be sure to do so while adhering to all the health and safety protocols.
A group of airport workers, including firemen, scanning workers, and security officers, are hoping their outstanding increases are paid in short order. Some 350 of them are impacted by the financial delay. President of the Bahamas Public Services Union, Kingsley Ferguson, says all attempts to reach a resolution has failed, but the Minister of Aviation is also sharing his view on the matter.
There is an outstanding monies that should have been attached to the base pay of the employees of the Airport Authority, and we have made numerous appeals to the management of the Airport Authority to no avail.
Workers of the Airport Authority are absolutely correct. They earn this increment, and they're entitled to this increment. And the government of the Bahamas has not walked away from what they are entitled to. Unfortunately, for some reason, I'm not sure why, they never received this increment prior to the pandemic. But with the onset of the pandemic, the Airport Authority, which earns most of its revenue from users of the airport.
Construction of a new multi-million-dollar Long Island International Airport expected to begin early next year. Member of Parliament for the Long Island constituency, Adrian Gibson, says plans are already in motion for the establishment of a new airstrip. He adds that the airport will be the catalyst and stimulus that the Long Island community needs.
The architectural drawings, survey plan, and addenda documents have now been completed and/or are near completion for the nearly $19 million international airport. It is expected that the tender for the new airport will be published in December 2020 or January 2021, and that the construction of the new airport will begin early next year. And so I want to thank the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Works, Director Cargill, and all of the other persons who contributed towards putting this in motion, most certainly the government of the Bahamas. This will put Long Island on the map, and on the road to socio-economic recovery.
Now, the new airport will cater to large local and international aircraft and direct flights from North and South America. Gibson says the international airport will greatly assist in the expansion of the local tourism product. He also noted that the government has acquired 400 acres for the construction of the international airport, which will be situated on Deadman's Key.
This new airport is expected to be split into two separate projects. One on the air side, that is the runway and the aprons, and the other on the land side, that is the terminal. The airport will be designed for Embraer 190 aircraft that can carry about 100 passengers. And these are the aircraft that you usually see flown by American Eagle. The new runway is expected to be some 6,500 feet long and 100 feet wide. In total, it is expected that the airport would cost roughly $18 to $19 million to complete. This will be a state-of-the-art airport, and frankly, we have not had an airport, a decent airport in Long Island for quite some time and we have not had any airport that can receive international traffic. And so in this instance, you're looking at a terminal that is nearly 20,000 square feet, that has fire, crash, and rescue areas with 2 fire trucks. And of course, that will be so specialized that it would also cater to the needs of the community.
As we continue our series on Sally's Army, Lloyd Allen speaks with one who's considered the glue that keeps Sally's Army assembled. He's worked with Sally Van Turen since April to achieve the goal of feeding 100 families each week. Here is his story.
Kazi Ellis is a dedicated part of the team. Up early every Tuesday morning, he commits to scanning more than 100 homes in search of the perfect recipients for the distribution initiative. Those initial questions include the number of persons in the home, who is working, and is there another avenue of aid to residents. He says this process is critical to the effort.
Well, the next step is I get the numbers. I get the numbers to the operational staff, and the operational staff then in turns, they start to load and start to prep goods, okay? And usually we try to do a minimum of 100 families per week.
Kazi says by Friday, most of the sorting and packing is complete. He and his team at this time are finalizing the details and the route for the giveaway. Last week, they covered 3 areas, Peter, Broome, and Kwaku Street, adding up to just over the 100 mark. But with lightened restrictions, he says that did create somewhat of a challenge.
Well, to be honest with you, not really, but it does interrupt. It does hinder us a bit when it comes to traffic. And with the lockdowns benefit us because we're able to now move highly uninhibited by traffic. So in some cases, we're able to go down one-way streets, with the lockdown. But, I'm ex-military, so I adapt and overcome.
On the day of distribution, Kazi says he is joined by volunteers and some friends from the armed forces, as he is a former Marine.
I came from that unit, so when I made the request, the Commodore really didn't even hesitate. It was not even a back and forth. I called him, I told him what our intentions were, and every week I get like 5-6 Marines. Some guys who are off duty, and they volunteer in their time.
It is a team effort, but Kazi says using his coordination skills, he helps to guide the steps so that by Saturday, all bases are covered, including sanitization, safety prep, and execution.
Cargo, load master, music, truck assistant, Miss Archer, load master, of course, Miss Butler, you in the van, Miss Brown, load master, and we get Doc, who's doing the walkabout, also with Sally.
He says he remains happy to be a part of the effort, which continues to assist families in urban areas here in the capital. Tomorrow, we speak with the NGO's own doctor and the ordinary people who week after week look to their doors for that reliable effort from their friends at Sally's Army. For the morning edition, Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Well, inspires all of us to give. Coming up, we speak live with the Nurses Association as they prepare for a special conference amidst the pandemic. Back after this.
You are a healthcare worker. Thank you for fighting on the front lines against COVID-19. It is normal to feel stressed when taking care of others who don't feel well. But remember to take care of yourself. Don't forget to rest between shifts, eat healthy meals, engage in physical activity, and stay connected to family and friends. Avoid harmful coping strategies like drinking alcohol. For managers of healthcare workers, the same tips apply to you. Here's how you can help. Consistently give updates. Rotate staff between high and low stress level functions. Encourage work breaks and ensure that they know where they can find help. We are here for you.
On the front line of this pandemic and now preparing to enter their annual conference. The conclave will speak to a number of critical issues facing nurses. Lloyd Allen on the scene joins us live with the team.
Yes, good morning again, Desmond. Good morning, Bahamas. This morning we're talking about extended training for nurses. This is the 43rd anniversary of the Nurses Education Conference. This year, that's themed Nurses Emerging 2020, Ever Committed, Ever United, Ever Strong. That officially starts tomorrow. And helping us to understand the reason behind this is the president of the Nurses Association, that's Nurse Rebecca Johnson. Welcome to the morning edition. And again, it's been a rough year for a lot of healthcare professionals, particularly nurses. But this conference is geared toward really giving them some extra training.
Yes, every year the Nurses Association we hold our annual conference. And this year, even amidst the COVID, it's no exception. we still want to have an educational conference to train nurses. I feel that one of the most effective things we can do in life is to learn from our life experiences. So at our conference, we want to remember and we want to reflect on our experiences, and we want to find ways so that we can face those challenges, things that we can learn from, and just to encourage and motivate our nurses for what lies ahead. So we are going to reflect, and we're going to remember, and we're going to learn from those challenging experiences we had this year.
Well, helping us to navigate the conference, which officially starts tomorrow, is Ms. Fernica Delaveau. Now, Ms. Delaveau, I understand it's going to be a Zoom-based conference. Talk to us about the details.
Yes, it is a virtual conference this year. We have a list of exciting, diverse topics. There are so many different areas in nursing. And so we have technology takeover, implications for nursing education. We have COVID-19 and research opportunities. We have the mental health effects of COVID exposure for our nurses, as well as the patient, the nurse as a patient, their lived experiences and any gaps in care. So what this conference really allows us to do is to bring together the different minds, the different various specialties, nursing specialties, and discuss together with experts what is the way forward, what are the challenges, and what are we going to do about it.
Now, a very important question here, Nurse Johnson. I interviewed a nurse a few weeks back, Nurse Nadia McIntosh. Unfortunately, she is suffering from cancer. She'd only worked on the job for a few months. But for nurses like her who do experience a medical trauma during their career, what sort of advice can you offer to persons like that?
Well, one of the things, as a nurse associate, we have to provide support. And we are launching something called NACB Curbside Care, where we're going to look after our nurses, find out what their needs are, and we try to reach out to a nurse like Nurse McIntosh, what type of support she needs, guidance. We find out what resources are there, but referrals we can do. And we try to assist our nurses wherever we can, because it's a rough road. It's not easy. And we really going to try to reach out to Nurse McIntosh and see how we can, what we can do to help her. And our NACB Curbside Care.
And just a final note, is there a number that our nurses would dial to access that service?
429-3463 is the number for the NACB. Our WhatsApp number, 429-3463.
Now, before we wrap up this morning, I could not leave the hospital without giving my sister a special shout out. She's also a nurse, Nurse Kendra Allen. Okay? Have you met her?
She's a nursing student, right?
Well, she just had counsel this year like many other nurses, and so she's excited to be in the field. She was a little nervous about entering in the COVID environment. But again, advice, what do you offer to nurses like her?
One of the things we want to do, and we want to invite all the nurses to tune in tomorrow to join us via Zoom, but especially our young nurses like Nurse Allen, we're inviting all the nursing students to also attend the conference so that they can learn how to navigate this time of crisis that we're facing.
Yes, we will be discussing a whole various aspects of the COVID exposure issue. We even have a panel of nurses, young nurses, more seasoned nurses that are going to talk about their experience. So Kendra Allen, please tune in. You can register. You can go to our Facebook page, the Nurses Association of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and you will find the link as well as registration instructions and the registration video. At this time, I would also like to thank some of our sponsors, Sunshine Finance Limited, Ports International, as well as Starbucks. And those are just some of the companies that have helped us out this year.
Starbucks is amazing. Well, thank you, ladies, for your information. And of course, again, the conference starts tomorrow, and all nurses are asked to take part, as there is advanced information that can help you in your career. Reporting from the Princess Margaret Hospital for the morning edition, Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Well, that's going to do it for Morning Edition for this Tuesday. So glad that you can tune in with us. On behalf of our entire team, I'm Desmond Saunders. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.